Welcome to the Saturday morning live stream. Thank you for being here and spending part of your day here. Today, I have some stories for you. We'll talk about Siri, new Siri chatbot coming out later this year. The updated Siri chatbot may not run on Apple servers. There is an update that's pointing to the new HomePod with a screen coming out, which we've heard about this for a long time, but have seen nothing, and some other stories in here. So if you have any questions, definitely put them down in the chat. I do want to say thank you to all of you spending part of your day here. And it looks like we're very quiet here today. What is going on? Did I not put this as a public stream? We got nothing happening here. Let's see. Let me check my alert, make sure that we're fine. But did I not put this out there? Because we got a couple people here, and okay, there we go. We got people going. Just the chat's awfully quiet. So, good morning, Bill. Thank you for being here. You are dealing with a very cold day. Stay warm, my friend. Good morning, Alan, one of our channel members. Rhett, another channel member. If you'd like to help support the stream and be a part or the channel, support the channel, feel free. You could, words are hard today. Think about becoming a channel member. I have member stream and member only Discord, and it would be good to have you join us over there. And Jelani, I'm so sorry, getting that wrong. I'm sure it's 38 outside, not too cold, but trying to stay warm. Yeah, stay warm. Thank you for being here at this stream. Bill, good morning. We missed you during the members chat. You were busy. Hey, you know what? That's good you're busy. And happy Saturday to you, Larry. Thank you guys all for being here. And Spike, welcome from the UK. So let's dive into this first story. Apparently, with iOS 27, Apple is going to be introducing a chatbot for the first time, which in the past, Apple has kind of seen chatbots as more a novelty and not something they were necessarily going to explore. But according to an article from Bloomberg, Apple plans to revamp Siri later this year by turning the digital assistant into the company's first AI chatbot, thrusting the iPhone maker into generative AI race dominated by OpenAI and Google. Now, the code name is Campos, will be embedded deeply into the iPhone, iPad, Mac operating systems, and will replace the current Siri interface. So you'll be able to summon the new service and open Siri, way you open Siri now. The thing with this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I would love to have the ChatGPT experience just across my iPhone and have it within Apple's ecosystem. That's as of now. It's like in this article, they're talking about how basically no other chatbot can work itself into the operating system on an iPhone. Apple isn't going to allow ChatGPT free reign within the Apple ecosystem. So to have a chatbot that will be able to, as Gurman reports, the major Siri overhaul will allow users to search the web for information, create content, generate images, summarize information, and analyze uploaded files, while using personal data to complete tasks, being able to more easily locate specific files, songs, calendars, events, and text messages. So things like that to be able to just work across all your apps sounds great. And I know ChatGPT is adding more functionality where you can now have it do shopping with Walmart and implement. I think you can now use ChatGPT with Apple Health, but I don't want to open up that kind of information to OpenAI You know, but I go back to, I've said I trust Apple, and I use the word trust as in we have to trust Google or Apple when it comes to a smartphone. It doesn't mean we trust that they're going to do everything right. We just have no choice but to trust what they're doing with one or the other. We to add in Amazon or OpenAI or any of these other companies, we don't have to do that. That's a voluntary thing, you know. But Google or Apple, you have to decide on one. You know, at this point in time, you don't even have to trust Microsoft with anything. Unless you have a computer, a PC, then you have to trust Microsoft. But other than those three companies, everything else is elective at that point. So since I've already made the choice for myself, Apple, then I want as much stuff to be handled by them directly. And same thing for Google users. You know, you use Android or you're using Google Docs or email, you know, the Gemini is going to be the best option for that. Now, one of the things that is that I don't think Apple users are going to necessarily want to hear is that the new Siri chatbot may run on Google servers and not Apple's. And apparently, the updated Siri feature, Smarter Siri, is going to be coming with iOS 26.4. And that runs on an older generation of Gemini. But for the upcoming Siri chatbot in iOS 27, that would use Google's newer Gemini models, which these run on, the Gemini 3 models running these latest gen models seemingly require higher performance servers than what Apple can deliver right now through its own private cloud support. So the Smarter Siri and Apple Intelligence functionality, and basically the Gemini model that Apple is getting from Google is older stuff. It's not really, you're getting AI functionality, but you're not getting the latest greatest going that route. So in order to get this smarter chatbot, Apple is heading down a direction that it's like this article says that would wrong one. That would represent a big departure philosophically for Apple, which talked up private cloud compute as a way to extend the privacy bubble of the personal data on your iPhone into Apple's cloud. However, the private compute idea was designed under a prior regime when Apple was promoting private cloud compute at WWDC 2024. It had not conceived needing to license Google's Gemini model at that point. So it's what do you guys think about that? As Apple users, do you care that the new version of Siri, the chatbot version, would be running on Google servers? Personally,
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
No, thank you. Sorry for triggering that. Personally, I don't really care. I mean, it's right now I'm using ChatGPT. I'm not using ChatGPT to talk about personal stuff. I'm not going to connect medical records to it. I'm not using it to share, private information. For me, it's tech support. It's knowledge base. As far as I'm going physically, is my elbow was hurting. And I'm like, is this an elbow problem or is it a sleep muscle problem? So kind of bouncing back and forth with that. How I'm doing as a parent, concerns with my relationship, other things that, I'm not going down that path with it. I'm not interested in having those conversations. And that sparked a thought that I thought was interesting about the Dove body wash, shampoo, all of that stuff. They were the leaders in leaders in body positivity and all of that going on and really pushing that. Well, they also own Magnum ice cream, and they own other dessert companies. So it's in their best interest to say, hey, you're perfect as you are. Eat our ice cream. So it's one of those things that I kind of look at the marketing side of things that, when it comes digitally, similar type of things. We got you covered and protected. Don't worry, you can tell us anything. And then suddenly advertising will give you exactly what will help you. Oh, you're depressed? You're going through a breakup? Now you're vulnerable to receive this information. So I don't care what companies, even Apple, is going to be giving me these digital tools that I can bounce off of. I'm not keeping it, I'm not going personal with any of it. And I don't think anybody should. It shouldn't be your therapist. Too many of these things are, they're too accommodating. They validate what you say too easily. So I've been playing ChatGPT and Gemini against each other to see if I can challenge what they're saying. Well, according to ChatGPT, it's saying this is the better way to do it. Oh, that is a good point. But, so I don't know. Anyways, there's a little tangent there. Let's see. Aaron, yeah, you got it right. Don't worry about it. Cool. Thank you very much. Aaron, do you think Apple partnering Google will help them come up with a more hybrid AI with privacy? See, and this is something that makes me think about what does it mean for privacy? This is one of those things that I think this is an underutilized thing. A lot of people aren't taking a look at this when they go and download apps. And, since we're talking Apple and privacy, let me just go to the App Store and give an example. And let's find any app, or not any app. I want to find something that people, let's just go to Snapchat. Okay, Snapchat's been around, loud on the platform. Wrong one. So we got Snapchat here. Let's just bring this down. This is one of the things people aren't looking at often enough. If you scroll down to the bottom of an app, it tells you exactly what data is being used to track you. The data used to track you, contact info, and identifiers. Data linked to you, your purchases, contact info, user content, identifiers, location, contacts, search history, usage data. So by downloading Snapchat, even though Apple praises privacy, you're giving up your location, you're giving up your contacts. So even if I don't download Snapchat, since my daughter has, Snapchat folks have my contact information, your purchases that you make, and that's all the stuff that's in there. And that's any app you could go and check this. And I'll get requests from my daughters to download apps, and I'll go and I'll look at that. There'll be some coupon app or whatever, let's see what's a popular Apple Store favorites. There'll be these different, but that's annoying. It shows how often I go into the App Store. I never go into the App Store unless I actually need something. So apps, I guess we'll click on that. Must have apps. Okay, Duolingo. Just scroll down, and this is to learn a foreign language. Okay, they're going to learn about my purchases, contact info, identifiers, user content, so all different stuff that is used to track me. Now, linked to me, so I can learn another language, they'll have my financial info, contact info, location, search history, all of that stuff so that I can learn another language for semi-free, unless I want the next lessons. So something to look at there with any of these apps. Free cash, get paid. So how does this app make money? Well, they get my user content, identifiers, contact info, and then they go and they sell that information to someone else. So if it's free for me, they're making money somewhere else. So it's the privacy side is like that's part of the reason I don't necessarily worry about it is that we're handing out information in ways that I don't think a lot of us even realize at this point. Larry, what do you think the new Apple chatbot will mean to Apple Home? I think they should call it the Apple Voice Assistant Ava. That's I like that. Yeah, who knows with that? I mean, it seems like they've had issues connecting that even I don't know. I mean, I could see it still being very limited on the assistant side because if you just look at Amazon, they've had a real tough time doing the search side and the chatbot side and the functionality side. I mean, there's plenty of people there talking about how stuff has been broken in their smart home since they've gotten the new Plus upgrade forced on them. So, yeah, that's a tough one right there because I see that as a low priority from Apple. I really wish. I mean, there was a point where you would think that earbuds would be a very low priority from Apple, and then they came out with AirPods, and now they're the go-to standard. You know, I wish that Apple would take that approach with the smart home, and will just, just put weight behind it and make it something awesome and become the leader in it. Okay, but Apple will use a Gemini. But yeah, I could see the smart home lagging behind. That they're just, I don't know, won't connect the dots because so much of the smart home is meant for local control too. So are you going to the cloud to be able to do that? Yeah. But Apple will use Gemini, which that's always seems weird. Google is an ad company. At the end of the day, majority of their money is made off of ads. That's just as Amazon is a cloud company. Amazon Web Services makes Amazon the majority of its money. So they're supporting websites. They're providing information, business tools. So think about what you're feeding with each of these companies. Apple with Siri is definitely isolated, but I hope they kind of open it just a little bit. It'll be greatly useful in the entire platform and the whole ecosystem. Yeah, and that's, that you think about it, it's like taking money from Google to be the default search engine on iOS devices. Apple knows Google is tracking and collecting data to be able to use for advertising. Copilot has stopped using the creepy blob they used on the Android app when in voice activated mode. I'd never tried that out. Yeah, Dana, we don't have to trust anybody. We just need to live with the consequences. That's the scary part about AI right now is, then you'll hear some of these experts. It's like these large companies are gambling with everybody's livelihood by doing this. A handful of people are making choices that can affect a lot of us. And yeah, and that's where I use the word very loosely when it comes to trust. Some people, I've used that statement before, and they think I mean like trust as like you would trust your partner, person you're married to, or any of that. It's like, no, it's, what's that? Trust but verify. You make sure that they're, I say I trust Apple, but first thing I do when I see an app I don't recognize is I swipe on down and go, yeah, that's why the coupon app is saving you money because they're collecting data. So something that really kind of messed with me was learning that TCL, the television company, or Vizio, the television company, makes the majority of their money now off of their smart functionality in their TV by ads on it and selling information, user information. So data gathered from you used in their smart TV. So it's one of those things that, yeah, that used to be the go-to cheap TV to get at Costco. And you bought it because they made a pretty good TV for half the price of everybody else. Now it's like that company, majority of their money comes from their smart TV interface. So that's folks out there that are like, why would I get an Apple TV? I'll just use a smart TV. You're like, okay, they're watching every single thing you do, on your television is being tracked. So that right there is like, thinking about that. It's everything you connect up, now. It's like I don't connect anything LG to the internet, any of my LG appliances, because you're agreeing to the terms of service that they just get to collect usage history on it. So my LG TV in here, it's not connected to the internet. What? Just to be able to switch inputs on it every once in a while, I'm going to have it connected to the internet? Nah. So that's why trust, but verify what they're doing. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it can be the beginning stepping stone for Apple to slowly open up just a bit. Yeah, they have no choice at this point. They're just falling behind trying to do it themselves. They really do need to open up. Oh, goody. So Apple will end up building their own electricity, water, and farmland destroying facility, just what we don't need. Well, I think by them partnering, we have one less person building those things. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. People don't think about the real cost of data centers and what's going on behind the scenes. But if you think about it in that way, if Google's already making those servers and they're doing all of they're already investing. Do you really want Apple building their own? Do you want Microsoft building their own? Well, Microsoft already has their server side. So, yeah, you need less companies building that infrastructure and just utilizing what's there. It is interesting, though. Amazon has their own custom AI chips that they're making. And basically for light task, they use their AI chips. And for the heavier stuff, use the NVIDIA. Wild Bill, welcome. Thank you for being here. Jelani, I completely agree with you on what you're saying about the whole personal side aspect of it. Yeah, just keep it to yourself. It's one of those like, yeah, like go to Reddit and look what people end up putting out there to the world. Am I the a-hole? I no longer love my family. I totally regret having them. Like I read something on Reddit where someone's like, I came across my dad's post saying he regretted marrying my mom and having us kids. What kind of dumbass would put that out there on the internet? But people do. Wild Bill, once Siri starts using Gemini, will my HomePods and HomePod minis work with the new Siri, or will I have to replace them? For local control. See, and this is where you start opening up into a whole different world that wasn't the case with Apple. In order to do Apple Intelligence, because of Apple's privacy side of things are meant to run on a supported iPhone, starting with the iPhone 16 Pro, I think it was. You had to have a 17 Pro chip to be able to use Apple Intelligence. And same thing with the idea with the new Apple TV. It'll have an A17 Pro, so it'll do Apple Intelligence. But the HomePod minis will have an S10 chip in it, which is an Apple Watch chip, which allows certain things to be handled by Siri. Well, if they're now farming out the ChatBot to Google servers, I feel like that opens it up that really anything should work. It's like with Amazon and their upgrade, my Echo Flex, which was $19 and a little square box, that does the updated AI version because it's all cloud-based. So really, that's a great question, Bill. It's like, is there really any reason why it can't? If it's going to the cloud anyways for this processing, then it should work on anything. Alan, I never use TikTok, but people are freaking out because of keystroke monitors and the new terms that openly say they could use anything that you will give them in any way that they want. that is, these terms of services, man, are out of control. That's one of the ways I used AI was to determine, to find out what the privacy policy differences were between Eero and Netgear routers, and they're basically the same. So it's one of those things that Amazon owns Eero. If Eero and Netgear are collecting the same data, well, I'm an Amazon stock shareholder. I use Amazon. I have, they're already collecting information as is. Do I really want to introduce another party into the data collection mix at that point? No. So because I was on the fence, do I want to get this Netgear router and get further away from Amazon? Or do I just get the Eero router? And just comparing privacy policies, it's like, okay, well, someone's collecting the usage, so might as well just let it be the same company at this point. So, and I was talking about this during the member stream. I want to use as few companies as possible and have as much in the same ecosystem as possible. I do it with my smart home. It's the reason why I use Accara so much. It's like Accara stuff works. They bring in something new. It all stays within that Accara bubble there, and just works better for me, and it's just less people in the mix. If I can get all Accara cameras and I have no Eufy cameras, well, if I'm sure they're accessing the same exact type of data. So, and you could do a Google search and get an AI result telling you the data that's accessed. So why do I want to give Eufy and Accara that information? So, Bill, I had Copilot and Gemini carrying on a 15-minute conversation recently with each other. Next day, I asked Gemini if she liked talking to Copilot, and she denied talking to him. I told her she did. No, I didn't. I was drunk. It didn't happen. I must have blacked out. Yep, there are no free apps. You are paying in information, obviously. That's the thing people don't realize. Let's see. I was just doing a quick search. How much of Vizio's money is made off of ads? So Vizio, the old cheap TV, advertising primarily through its Platform Plus business has become the main profit driver of Vizio, representing 82% of its platform's revenue and powering the company's profitability. So that right there, Vizio profits on ads, subscriptions, and data. That's as far, wrong one. That's as far back as 2021, The Verge reported that. Vizio exec said 77% of that money comes directly from advertising. So it's things like that. The cheap go-to TV makes all of its money off of data. So, let's see. William, welcome. Thank you for being here. 17 minutes. Oh, holy crap. I'm 12 minutes behind. John, good morning. If Apple ever makes a new Apple TV this year, I know. Yeah, and I wonder if it throws some of this stuff into delay. So, I've given up expecting a new Apple TV. You wouldn't hire a blind maid or deaf butler. Why not? Since Lawrence, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about one of your favorite things. Something 8 plus new iPhone features coming soon thanks to Google Gemini. New iPhone features coming soon while Apple hasn't confirmed which Apple Intelligence and Siri features will use Google Gemini models. This is what we know based on rumors. It'll provide better emotional support when users say they're feeling lonely or disheartened. See, that's exactly what I'm never going to say to my chat assistant. Offers more accurate world knowledge and factual answers with a conversational answer. Perform tasks such as creating Apple Notes about a specific subject. And this is what Gemini is going to help Siri do. Perform more personal tasks like booking travel, handling situations where Siri doesn't clearly understand the user's question, tell stories, exactly what I don't need, and an important one, the ability to remember past conversations. So, proactive features such as one to suggest when to leave to pick up a friend at an airport or avoid traffic. So, but anyways, that's Gemini should help with some of those. Really, I just would like for it to remember past conversations and be able to connect the dots personally. So, this is one for you, Lawrence. Apple's rumored HomePod device gets encouraging launch update. New HomePod launch is in spring. Corroborated. I can't even say the word now. By the information. Apple is also working. Wayne May write at the information. Apple is also working on a home product featuring a smart display, speakers, and a robotic swivel base, designed with a heavy emphasis on AI features. That device could be released as soon as the spring, according to two of the people. The rumors are possibly spring, now that iOS 26 is supposed to have supercharged Siri this spring. It seems like the new home product should launch. Gurman has indicated in the past. So basically, there wasn't any real good new information, but they're rumored to have the new home device, along with rumors of Apple working on a new AI device, an AI pen, wearable pen, which I personally have no interest in. That could come as early as 2027. This pen is a thin, flat, circular disc with aluminum and glass shell. Features 2 cameras, a standard lens and wide-angle lens on its front face, designed to capture photos and videos of the user's surroundings. I'm like, yay! This is one I don't need to take off at all. But hopefully this spring we'll see a HomePod with a screen. Yeah, well, you're not behind at all. Let's see. Larry, it would be interesting if they made it to where it brought out, if you bought one of the new Apple Home Hubs, that it would act as an interface to allow you to use old Apple HomePods to work with the new Siri. Yeah, I think the thing with that is going to be that you are going to have your phone serve as the middle thing. It's like now if you make a request on the HomePods, it can't answer it. It directs you to your phone. So, yeah, I'd see them doing something. Wow, you're not behind at all. Where's the real... Yeah, rumored. I know. See, that one was just for you. Jason, waiting for that HomePod. Hope it looks better than the guest renderings. Yeah, same estimated launch date for the last 10 years. No, it was going to be in September. It gets bumped every 6 months. It was supposed to be out in January of 2025. When that didn't happen, it now becomes September of 2025. This will be March of 2026. Then, and when that doesn't happen, it'll be we'll do WWDC. So really, it's every 3 months the rumor gets pushed. Let's be realistic. Silky Silk, yeah, I know. What was that ad for? I'm like, come on. That doesn't seem relevant. I don't like silk pajamas. Yeah, I'm like, so much for targeted ads. So, John, I watched a YouTube video on how cold can your smart devices work until they freeze up. Any good answers out of that? I did have someone ask about the new Accara lock, asking how cold it could get because they were in Canada and they get down to -30. And apparently the Acara's new lock only goes down to -15. So, yeah. That's, so that seemed... That's my silky sick. Okay. Yeah. Do we need an AI pen? We have AI earbuds and AI glasses. I know. See, I'm gonna have to turn on ad blockers because it is kind of funny, the stuff that does pop up. And guys, I'm sorry. This picture just bothers me. It bothers me because I just want these two to come out and say that they're engaged or something. Just let us know what's going on, because every time they seem to talk about an AI device, Johnny over here wants to snuggle with Sam. It kind of pulls me off topic. I could care less. If tomorrow they say the two of them are engaged and they're going to live happily ever after, perfect. But it's confusing me with the AI side, that I'm like, I never see Tim Cook snuggle up against, what's that guy, Craig Federline or whatever. So it's just, I think this is the second picture I've seen of those two. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Kenny, welcome. I only believe Apple are releasing a HomePod and AI pen when I have them in my hands. And that is the best way to look at it at this point. Like the idea of a doorbell and a camera seems like we're all going to be walking on Mars before Apple ever releases those, in my opinion. Bill, I've been telling the AI conflicting information to mess with its mind. Great. Train it so it's broken for all of us. So, let's see. I like that second gen dots still work with Lady A+. Yeah, and that's a great thing. Well, that's the benefit of the cloud side of things, is that you do get that older devices still working. Go trains, go. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's a creepy picture. It is. It's just like, it's so, distracting. It's like, I don't need to see Jeff Bezos and his wife if he's going to tell us about a new rocket. I'm like, distracting. John, Netflix, I got the $7.99 a month, has only 2 very short ads and still has the same resolution. The same here. Yeah, that's, yeah, I remember when it was just $7.99 a month and no ads. Yeah, the whole ads thing is out of control now. I'm sure Greenland will become a state before HomePod Touch with the screen is released. I like it. So go trains, go. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here and the kind words. Let's see. Where did I put the... What's in here? There we go. There's my live streaming. I'm all caught up. Looks like we can end the stream now. Today was a slow day. It's quiet in the chat. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about? I had a couple other things. Oh, yeah. I did want to point this out. For anybody who thinks you can turn off ads on Echoes, this is from Amazon's customer support. I'll drop the link in here if anybody wants to take a look for themselves. This is how you manage ads and other suggested content on your Echoes. But I posted a screenshot on Twitter and on the YouTube comment section community section, because I get tired of people saying you just turn off the sponsored ads. That's it. You turn them off. The Echo Show displays recommendations, shows, products, and more. These ads are marked with sponsored at the bottom of the screen. You can't turn off these ads, but you can skip an ad by swiping from right to left. Keywords from Amazon. You can't turn off these ads. So just something to keep in mind. And then here's how you can go and manage your interest-based ads. So if you just want random ads, you could go in there and turn it off. Or you can receive interest-based ads so they fit you better. So either way, pick your poison when it comes to ads. Oh, an ad can be hidden for 30 days by selecting the information in the bottom right and then choosing one of the options, providing feedback on an ad that's offensive or inappropriate. Really, then if you just take a moment and flag every ad as inappropriate and offensive, maybe that'll help you. Let's see. Hue Essential light strips. Yeah, I haven't tried those yet. it's a tough thing for me when it comes to buying smart devices right now, or buying like Lego or something. I tend to just lean towards the toy, that way. Let's see. Will the cat? Oh, is that, where's the bossy camera hog anyways? Oh, over here sleeping. Yeah, I brought, my cat has now stolen my daughter's blanket. So in order to get him not to drive me crazy, I'll take his blanket and put it in the chair so he can go over there and go to sleep. So he's been asleep for a little while now. He was being a pain a little earlier, trying to get into something. So luckily I had his blanket, just put him over there. So yeah, it's like the cat is happy being here, just now asleep. So perfect. I've learned how to keep that cat under control. A lot of the new Matter devices seem to go offline faster when it gets cold. Some reason they said. I wonder why that is, because it's not a different. It's still using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I don't know. Zigbee's the way to go. Zigbee is the way to go at the end of the day, in my opinion, right now. Thread would be number 2. Wi-Fi would be no other choice. But even then, Wi-Fi ideally should be 5 gigahertz. I'm going to do a quick check now to see how accurate it is. But yeah, right there, I was just checking my cameras. If I do a test, this is 5 I think that's 5 gigahertz. Wi-Fi. This one, that's 2.4. That popped up quick. This is my G5 Pro, and it's the fastest camera to pop up. And it is a 5 gigahertz camera. It uses the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So, yeah. Wow, all my cameras are popping up quicker than usual. But in doing a test, typically I found that the G5 Pro using 5 gigahertz has been my fastest. I was interested in Echo Show 11, but the ads are a no-go. That's the thing, is like I made a video that I didn't finish editing about why I won't buy the Echo Show 11. And the biggest reason is I can't look past the ads. Everything else is kind of irrelevant at that point, because there's no, it's just, there's no reason for, at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep it up, because I know that ads are the second most profitable thing Amazon does. You look at their earnings reports, that their stock earning reports, and the most profitable thing is Amazon Web Services, and then second is ads. So I can't have a billboard. I can't. Everything else that serves me ads can be turned off, and I don't have to see those ads. I open up Netflix. If it has ads, I don't have to see them once I turn Netflix off. But if I'm coming down to make a cup of coffee and I get an ad, I'm like, nope, just not going to happen. Not going to happen. So anybody who wants it, more power to you. But I can't do it, because I only need to look at my calendar maybe once a day. I make a voice request pretty much never. If I want to watch something, I will just take my iPad and put it on a little stand and watch on my iPad, where I can watch any apps and be able to control them better. That at the end of the day, if I'm going to do a video call, I'm going to use FaceTime. So the screen on an Echo Show, since I can't just swipe quickly and do anything on it, really doesn't add much value. To look at things, to use it about 2% of the day, if that, and to receive ads randomly throughout the day, just to see more ads than I would actually ever use it, just makes it irrelevant now. It's no longer a product that adds any value for me. What's your thoughts on Apple HomePod and mini speaker reliability? My original HomePod developed random speaker clicks, and one of the minis has perpetual Siri on and plays music randomly. Quality issues. I have my original HomePod that I bought Yeah, I have two of the original HomePods that have had no issues. Like one of them I bought in 2018, and then I think the next one I bought in like 2019. The 2018 one got used like every day in here, or 2019 one got used every day in here as a speaker. And then the 2018 one barely got used in the living room. Now for the past 3 years, yeah, 3 years now. They've been in my garage 2 years now, over 2 years. They've been the daily speakers in there. So those are God coming up on. They're over 7 years old now, and yeah, because I bought that first one right when it came out. I've only, out of all the HomePod minis, which I think I have like 5 of them, 6 of them now in use, I had one that had the spinning wheel. It's stuck in reset mode. But other than that, that's the only issue I've had. There was a couple times that I had the random music pop up, and my wife was like, "Well, why did it start playing music?" And that just after an unplug and plugging it back in, it hadn't done it again. Oh, actually, and there was an article, random music, HomePod causes. There was something that I saw in doing a search. Here it is. Static electricity and phantom touches, so high humidity or placing the HomePod near electronics can cause static buildup, tricking the touch surface into thinking it has been tapped. So when you tap the HomePod, that's when it will, oh crap, wrong screen. When you tap the HomePod, it'll pick music out for you. So this is one of the ones that I think people are having an issue with, that they don't may not realize it that it's being next to another electronic that may cause some static buildup, tricking the touch surface into thinking it had been tapped. So that's something to look at. Is if you're having a problem with random music, try placing it somewhere else. Misinterpreted voice commands, don't see that likely. A nearby iPhone with automatic ear detection for AirPods or handoff enabled may accidentally transfer audio to the HomePod. Don't really see that. Set to neighbors or family members might be accidentally casting music. In some cases, a temporary software bug or defective unit. But I think potential fixes in the Home app: navigate to HomePod settings, accessibility, and touch accommodations, and enable it to ignore accidental touches. So I had never heard of this one before doing the search on it. The static electricity phantom touches. So that could be an issue that people are having more often than realize. So clean the touch surface, wipe down the top of the HomePod to remove dust or static buildup. And then also try this touch accommodations and ignore accidental taps. So that wouldn't fix any kind of the clicking sound. But if you have the perpetual, you have Siri turning on or plays random music, that might play a part in it. It might be worth taking a look at. Questions: I have one HomePod, but my device seems to load slower. Could it be because I added more devices and my HomePod is getting overloaded? It shouldn't be, because really your HomePod is just sending a single command. It's not really drawing. It's not doing anything but talking to a device when necessary. It wouldn't be like streaming video or me live streaming where it's just constant data flow. It shouldn't. It should just be sending a little burst of command. So I don't know why that would really be a problem. I would check for restarting, restart, verify that it's updated. But it's like I said, thank you, Go Trains. Have a good one. I appreciate it. I'm still using my 2018 model, but I'm not To be honest, though, I don't call it up. It primarily gets used as a speaker at this point. So maybe I should probably do some tests to see if it's slowed down in calling anything up. Just to Jelani, just a quick recap for the Accara window and door sensors. Can I use that with my Apple ecosystem via the HomePod and still function without having a car hub? No, majority of Accara devices do need a hub. The one that I would recommend is that go with the Accara M100. And the reason why, and I would actually, I mean, you could get it now. It's not too bad. But I would also consider waiting to see if Amazon has a spring event come up, because, they tend to have the different events going on. But yeah, I mean, if you go this route, if you think about all the potential Accara devices you might add, like one of the things I was looking at is, let's see, door sensors. They're $40. So for $15 a sensor, if you got six sensors going on, and you divided the price of the hub up, you're now paying $20 a sensor. So, if you go with just the thread version of one sensor, you're paying $30. So I start to look at it, the more stuff I'm adding to that hub, it just offsets the cost of the hub. So like these, I have a total of 5 of these now. So they need a hub, but at, $12 or what, it ends at $15 a sensor. That hub cost is offset by that. So yeah, unfortunately the Accara stuff needs it, but it is a Zigbee. So Accara, they're using their own Zigbee setup, but it's just so reliable. All my most reliable devices in the house are connected with Zigbee. To me, there's still nothing better than using Zigbee at this point. So this one, I'll drop a link to this one if you want to check it out, or anyone else wants to check it out. But it's the M100. It does thread. It can serve as a thread border router, which if you do get one of those and you already have an Apple Home, you can go into the thread settings and you can just have it join your Apple Home, and it becomes a thread border router. So, like for example. And this is good for anybody who's using Accara devices that generate thread. Let me just grab a hub to show you guys the setting. Because if not, you're creating multiple thread networks where you don't need them. So this is their M200 hub. If I go under, if I go to the 3 dots, and this is the same with all their other Accara stuff. If you go under network information, scroll down thread network, and you could do thread network management. And see, all of my Accara devices have been put on my Apple thread. So instead of their own thread that they created, which just you're making more thread networks than you need. Instead, all of those items had their hub change. So I can change this to its own, but it makes no sense. By default, it's going to create any new Accara hub, even if it's a doorbell that has a hub, it's going to create its own thread network. So if you're using Apple Home, or you're using an Echo Home and it's making a thread network, or Eero, just switch over your Accara device so it goes on there. So you don't have conflicting threads. And in that case, once you do that, those thread border routers just enhance the thread network. So my HomePods and my Accara border routers are all just making a stronger mesh thread network at that point. So definitely take a look at that if you have anything Accara that creates thread. Dana, so I saw Forbes teasing that the newest Windows update caused major problems. Do you know anything about that? The only thing that I've seen pop up with Windows 11 update and I don't know what this is about, is that the new my motherboard needs a BIOS flash because of using the Intel 13700 chip in it or whatever. It's telling me I need to flash the BIOS, but other than that, I have not. I've not had an issue with that. But yeah, in order to flash the BIOS to fix it so I don't get the warning anymore, and I don't necessarily need to do it, you have to like download onto a USB drive and then restart the computer holding delete or F2 and then flash the BIOS. So I wonder if it has anything to do with a BIOS update on the motherboards. Only 8 minutes behind. And by the way, I hate magazines and newspaper articles behind paywalls. If you use what's it called? Like I have iCloud One or Apple One or whatever the thing is that combines all the services, and so it comes with the Apple News Plus. And the Verge article that I was looking at, which actually that's what's right here. This Verge article, you can check out. You could look at Verge on Apple News and not have to be stuck behind a paywall. So most of those items behind a paywall for The Verge, if you have Apple News, you can read the full article here. But yeah, it's so annoying, the paywall everywhere at this point. The Verge has become bad about it. So much of their stuff is behind a paywall. I have trouble with HomePods come on is because my phone is too close. Because of handoff. Like I have a phone in or a HomePod in the bathroom, and then I'll put my phone down on the counter, and it'll want to hand off to it, if that's what you're referring to. In your opinion, what is the tech that we need but the industry has not created? Oh God. Oh my. Whew. That's a good one. I'd love to hear anyone else's answers in there that I'm like that we need that no one else has created. Oh, it's to me the biggest thing that we need at this point in time is a battery breakthrough, because it really is the thing in the way of a lot of progress on stuff is current battery technology. I know the solid state batteries do better, but that has just been like the biggest bottleneck for, things getting smaller or lasting longer. An Apple Watch, if someone could come up with a better battery, then it could be a device that lasts a week. Your phone could go back to lasting a week with better batteries. But other than that, I think real voice, to me, it's like to think of things that haven't been created yet. That just made me think of Star Trek. For all of the Star Trek episodes where they talk to a computer, notice in the old episodes, AI was never a concern. It's like they couldn't even picture that. They could picture transporting somewhere or going faster, but to have an intelligence that was smarter than you, that ran everything, didn't make the original Star Trek series. So it's like creatively, I feel like anything I think of is just regurgitating something that's already there. But I would say glasses would be one that to really the next step of being able to take like Vision Pro and put them into a glasses format where you could just interact with your hands and do everything the Vision Pro can do, but in a set of, something like the Meta glasses would be cool. Or to really have a strong assistant that could interact with everything around you. And to me, it'd be from the Apple side, not a chatbot, but a real assistant that understood and could control things and set up the house. And, yeah, I don't know. Robots would be nice. I personally would love to get a robot at some point. But yeah, that's a tough one. It's like, what do we need? But the industry is not created. I'm like, better batteries. That would just change electronics. That's where you come up with that slab of glass at a certain point. You end up with those futuristic tech because of the batteries that can last forever on there. I wish I had some like brilliant answer where you just walk away at Jason going, that guy's smart. Instead, he's like, that's all I got from him. The only trouble I have with my HomePod coming on is my phone is too close to the iPad, to the HomePod. Yeah, Zigbee's a great way to go. And Jelani, I'm glad that was helpful. Wild Bill got some Accara T2 bulbs, set them up originally under the Accara Zigbee hub. Went non-responsive, changed them over to my Thread network, and they've been rock solid ever since. Tech we need is sliding glass door locks. Standardized sliding glass door. It would be nice to have a smart door lock. And I picture, because my wife has her she shed office, and just yesterday I locked her out because I have a habit of, as soon as I let the dogs out, I lock the door behind me. Well, worst case scenario, after she bangs on the sliding glass door, if I don't let her in, she can walk around and use the smart lock on the front door. So I like the idea of that. But yeah, Wild Bill, I actually had the T2 bulbs worked great on Thread, but they just weren't as fast, I felt, as Zigbee. So I kind of had the flip side, but glad to hear those are working well for you. That's what's behind me here are the Accara, is an Accara T2, and it's got bright, saturated colors, which is great. We need a way to combat the tech innovations we don't need. New batteries, definitely. Yeah, that's it. It'd be nice to have, I would love a one-time fee for an assistant with no ads that could just take care of things. I could just grant access to, and it works locally. It's like, boom, here's my device. I spent $5,000 on it, but I'm never served an ad again. And every electronic, it can interface with everything around me. From controlling my TV to inputting stuff into my iPhone. But yeah, there's just no advertisement, no relying on another company, just my own cloud that covers everything. The Star Trek episode, The Ultimate Computer, gave an example. What could happen if AI goes crazy? Oh yeah, the original series. I don't remember that episode. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, it just didn't seem like a prevalent theme going on. But also, they didn't predict Facebook, TikTok, and all those things. It was a much more optimistic use of resources. And thank you, Bill. Device that you should change things on if you don't have to replace the whole thing. Oh yeah, you mean right to repair stuff? Things you could just fix instead of replacing the whole thing? Instead of planned obsolescence. But anyways, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys very much. We made it to the end of the chat, only a little bit over an hour. I appreciate you all being here and seeing where these conversations go. It's always fun. Katie, welcome. Hi. I got to leave. Goodbye. But thank you guys. And Jack, Rhett. I'm using Third Reality bulbs on Zigbee, rock solid. Yeah, the Zigbee is just so reliable. Lutron Cassetta, Hue bulbs and lights, the Accara stuff, all those are Thread, and that's where we hear a lot of positive results, and it's really having that Thread network. John, have a great weekend too. Everybody, again, thank you for being here. I'll be back next weekend, and I appreciate you guys being around, and I'm a part of this. And welcome to the new folks, and thank you to the channel members for your support too. So if you'd like to become a channel member, you could click that join button. There is a channel member only Discord where we post in there and have conversation in there. And then there is the member only stream that happens 1 hour before this stream. So if you come become a channel member if you like. If not, we'll do this again next week. And next video, I actually did a desk upgrade here. So I'm going to be talking about that. I think that's going to be the next one. It's either that or I have a video on OpenAI or on ChatGPT and some tips to help get more out of that. But I did an upgrade here and made a video on it. So check that out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.